Joining us now is the chairman of the House Task Force investigating the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. That'd be Congressman Mike Kelly. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. Listen, I'm interested in what you guys found because I haven't been to Butler yet, but if you look at the sites that weren't protected and the lack of information that we have as a public about what happened on that day, what did you learn on your site visit today?
Well, today most of the task force was able to physically visit the site. So now when they look at anything else after this, they will be able to reference it and know exactly how it was set up. I got to tell you, Sean, at this point, so we had local law enforcement in, and I think, again, I know what Senator Johnson is saying about being stonewalled. It keeps leading back to the federal agencies that were there. Local law enforcement was willing and able to help out wherever they could. But for whatever reason, we're not getting the answers we need to get in a timely fashion. And that leads then to all these different theories of what happened that day. While they may be possible, I don't know that that's actually what happened. We have heard today for hours the local police and what they did, their roles that day, the communication that they had or didn't have and surrounding that whole event. So it's eye-opening to us, and I think what it does, now it opens the door for us to take a look at what we've requested from the different federal agencies. So we need the information now. We need it unfiltered. We can take whatever it is that we need to know. Just please don't hide anything from us, because that's the worst thing that could happen right now.
Well, what about the American people want to know more about the assassin or the perpetrator? It just feels like from the outside looking in that the FBI, Alejandro Mayorkas, DHS, all the way on down, Congressman, they just want to bury this and make it go away.
Well, Dagan, that's a great point, and that's our whole role at the end of this, and we will go the whole way through on this, and this will be totally transparent to the American people. We have got to do the job now that's going to be required to restore the faith, trust, and confidence that the American people need to have in these different agencies. I think that if you delay it, if you kind of skirt around the outside, I really am interested also in what you just said, in the shooter. We've got to do a deeper dive on him. And I will tell you right now, all the different theories that are out there, is it hard to believe that this person by himself could have done this without any help from anybody? And that's what, we don't have the answers to that. We'd have to do a very deep dive into his background, his whole purpose in getting to Butler that day to take that shot, and for what reason, what caused him to do that, and how did he get there? It's hard to believe that just one single person could do all that himself.
It'd be great if you had faith in the FBI and the Secret Service to disclose all this to the American people.
Or Ray, who got in front of Congress and said that Trump's ear might have gotten cut by shrapnel.
Yeah. But now we need the Congress to actually do the work of law enforcement. But I want to move to this, Congressman, because the latest polling out of your home state shows a tight race between in the White House and Congress, too, for that matter. Democrats are embracing their liberalism, and they're proud of it. Watch this.
We have data, we have polling, we have anecdotal evidence from Americans all over the country, but especially I'm in Pennsylvania, in a swing state, where we're not actually asking for our candidates to run away from progressive ideals. We're asking them for them to run to them.
So, Congressman, what's Pennsylvania? It is the crown jewel, the most electoral votes. What's happening in your state? And does this liberalism, this crazy radical liberalism, does that work in Pennsylvania?
Well, you know what? I think it's easy to get on and give some kind of what I feel or what that person felt like. I will tell you this. This is a deeply faith-based state. And I think for all of us, now we take a look at what's happening. I will tell you this. The America that I grew up in, the culture that I grew up in, the grandparents and parents and all the rest of my extended family would sit back now and say, I can't believe this is taking place in America. They used to whisper about it. Now they brag about it. I really believe. And it's not every Democrat. But unfortunately, this is the message that's getting out there. I am hoping the American people, Sean, we've had this talk before, forget about being woke. Wake up. Wake up, America. Your country is being taken from you by people who are championing policies. You say, no, never in my life would I ever have expected this. And some of the things that the presidential candidate and the vice president candidate, you would say, nobody would have been able to do this in my family. Nobody would have been able to do this in my town, to talk that way and talk the way they talk about transforming children, the things that they want to do. My clarion call is, America, this is our battle right now. If we're going to save this incredible representative republic, we've got to step forward, get educated, be open-minded to the dangers of what's happening right now. It is off the charts dangerous for the future of America.
Well said, Congressman. Again, you know best, Congressman and a car dealer. You touch more people than anybody. We appreciate you being with us. Mike Kelly, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. We're going to keep diving till we get the right answers for the American people. They can handle the truth, and we're going to get it for them.
I love that. Thank you so much for your service.